Hey, what's up, speakerphiles? Wellington here and welcome to another sound battle where we let speakers speak for themselves. In the battlefield, today we have the JBL Xtreme 3 going up against the JBL Xtreme 2. Now, as usual, I will be giving you a high quality binaural sound sample. But before that, let's look at some differences between these two speakers. So as you can see, the physical design has changed a little bit. They now have a giant JBL logo right there, kind of different from what they've been having on their speakers, so they're changing that up. They added side bumpers, which I still think they don't look that good.
The side bumpers are basically EVA foam overmolded with silicone transparent on the top.
Yes, who knows?
Principal industrial designer Harman. What if you are skating and you're falling with your Xtreme?
It has a strap on it. If someone is going to be running around and doing all that kind of stuff, I mean, use the strap, it won't fall.
To protect your product when is falling sideways, to bump back.
It's not like you have to hold it in your hands.
Can you see these ones?
That does not mean that I like them.
Side bumpers.
Just don't like it.
I hope you like the story.
I just don't, but that's just me, so don't mind me. And also, the same rubber material that they put at the base, they also added those to the strap, which kind of improves it again. They are improving the strap every year that goes by, and I swear next year we will have the JBL Xtreme 4 with a Bluetooth strap. Oh, come on, that was funny, but it's not my joke. We now also have USB-C charging on here, and that also means that you can bring your power bank to wherever you're having your party and recharge your speaker, so you don't have to worry about running out of juice, which is pretty awesome. The Xtreme 3 is now running Bluetooth 5.1 instead of the 4.2 that we had on the Xtreme 2. It has JBL Party Boost instead of the Connect Plus, and what that also means is that these two cannot connect together to play together like you would with a Party Boost speaker or the JBL Connect Plus speaker, so not compatible. The Xtreme 3 is now IP67 rated as opposed to IPX7. The frequency response rating is also slightly better. It's rated to go as low as 53 as opposed to 55 Hertz. So we'll see if that shows up in the sound too. And while the driver sizes have stayed the same as those of the Xtreme 2, 70mm drivers for the main drivers and 20mm tweeters, the magnets that they used in here on the drivers in here are a little bit different. They used neodymium magnets with the drivers in here, which is the reason why this is actually slightly, well, quite a bit noticeably lighter than the JBL Xtreme 2. Now, I'm not saying that neodymium magnets are lighter. It's just that you require less of the magnet to achieve the same effect that you would get from the regular magnets that they used in the JBL Xtreme 2. But I'm also thinking maybe that's why they had to come up with this really grippy bass, just because if with the speaker this light, if you just use something that slides around so easily like what they used on the Xtreme 2, you would get a lot of vibration from the speaker just rattling on the table or whatever you're playing your sound from, just because you don't have the weight of the speaker to back it up and hold it on the ground. So that might be the reason. That's just my guess, but I think that's why they had to kind of look for something better to put at the bottom here, and I really do appreciate that. Also, the Xtreme 3 has a slightly higher wattage, 25 watts for each driver for a total of 50, and then 20 watts for each driver for a total of 40. And this is when they are plugged in, so I'm not sure at what wattage they run at if they are playing in DC mode, because those measurements that they give, if you look in the manual, are only in brackets they say AC. So there is that. You might find a few small things here and there that are different between these two speakers, but I feel like those are the main differences between the two speakers. So how do they compare sound-wise? Here is a sound sample, but before that, as we all know, I will be using a high-quality binaural microphone. So for the best experience, please make sure you are using headphones. With that said, let's hear the speakers speak.
You can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, finished frames on my face, looking like I'm from the deep. These no Cartiers, pockets deep, 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 bro. I can make it in my seat.
And there you have it. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down there. Also, if you like what I do here and feel like supporting what I do, there are several ways that you can do that. You can go check out my merch store. I have quite a few cool designs over there. You can also become a channel member and, be a part of what I do here. And hey, don't forget to head over to Instagram and follow me over there because why not? So when it comes to loudness, the speakers are very close to the same, but the JBL Xtreme 3 is slightly louder. It's not by a lot, but just slightly louder, and I'm pretty sure this is because of the next thing. The highs of the JBL Xtreme 3 are also slightly sharper than those of the JBL Xtreme 2, and I'm pretty sure that is why it turns out or sounds louder than the JBL Xtreme 2. So if loudness is what you're going for and you're looking for the loudest of the two, here you go. The JBL Xtreme 3 has an upper hand in that department. And when it comes to the highs, like I just mentioned, the Xtreme 3 has slightly sharper highs in comparison to the JBL Xtreme 2. Now, this does not necessarily mean that it's better. In fact, in some songs at maximum volume, I feel like it sounds a little bit too sharp. Like you get ear fatigue from listening to that sharp sound like that, but in most songs it's actually fine. But also at lower volumes you can barely notice any difference in the highs between the two speakers. So yes, the sound of the Xtreme 3, the highs are slightly brighter, but not necessarily better than those of the JBL Xtreme 2. The mids are also more or less the same between the two speakers, but again, because of the highs, the ones on the JBL Xtreme 2 still sound slightly more open or again, like brighter than what you find on the JBL Xtreme 2. But again, this is mainly when you're playing all the speakers at maximum volume. If you keep the volume lower, yes, there will be a slight noticeable difference, but it's very, very small between these two speakers. And bass performance. This is the only area that I feel like the speakers are, again, very, 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 very close to the same. It's hard to just kind of pick one and say, hey, this has a way better bass performance in comparison to the other. It's just, they are very, very close to the same, even with different sort of drivers that the JBL Xtreme 3 is running. It's still very, very close to the same when it comes to bass performance. Now, I said very close to the same because there is a slightly better performance coming out of the JBL Xtreme 3. This is very, very noticeable when it comes to the very first couple of songs that I played in a sound sample. You can go listen to them again. But when the kick drops, you can hear that it sounds slightly more rich on the JBL Xtreme 3 than it does on the JBL Xtreme 2. Again, it's very, very minute, very, very small difference, but if we're going to pick one, the Xtreme 3 is doing slightly better, but barely noticeable. In the end, the sound of these two speakers is very close to the same, that I feel like deciding between the two speakers, you shouldn't basically solely base it off of how they sound, just because they are very close to the same, that I feel like if you go with one or the other, you are not missing out very much from one or the other when it comes to sound. So just base your decision off of pricing and maybe the design, which one looks better to you, and just go with that. Honestly, right now, I feel like the Xtreme 2 is a better bang for your buck in comparison to the speaker. So if I had to spend money, I feel like I would buy the Xtreme 2 just because of it sounds good, but it's also way cheaper. I feel like at this moment, as I make this video, you're looking at about $150 difference between these two speakers. I don't think the sound is that different at all, not even close. So unless you just like the design of this speaker, the Xtreme 3, you just like that it's a little bit lighter, you like the modern strap, doesn't have Bluetooth yet, but maybe next year. Other than that, just get the Xtreme 2. I'm rooting for this guy. Just get this if you want to save some money. But like I said, unless you're one of those people who just want to have the newest and maybe you just have the money and you don't really care, yes, this is a slightly better speaker, but again, you get the point. You get the point. Thank you for watching the video. Go check out my merch store. Go follow me on Instagram. And if you're able to, join and support the channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.